The grainy glow of the security camera feed lit up my laptop screen, capturing my wife in our bed with another man at 2:47 p.m. on a quiet Tuesday, while I was meant to be fitting custom shelves in a client's kitchen across the city. I'm Jack Harlan, 42, owner of a small woodworking shop in my garage. It's not flashy work, but it kept the lights on and put meals on the table for my wife, Sarah, and our 16-year-old daughter, Emily, or so I thought, until that video shattered everything in crystal clear detail. "Dad, you look like death warmed over," Emily said, stepping into the dim workshop where I sat rigid, eyes locked on the betrayal unfolding before me. "Just a rough job site, kid. No big deal." I snapped the laptop shut, my fingers trembling like leaves in a storm. "Aren't you due at volleyball practice?" Coach bailed. "Mom's still out, and I'm famished. Mind whipping up a grilled cheese?" I nodded blankly, trailing her into the house, the same home where Sarah had welcomed her lover mere hours ago, the same bed we'd shared for 15 years, where Emily had snuggled between us during fierce storms as a child, where I'd cradled Sarah through her mother's long illness just last year. The kitchen air felt heavy now, tainted. Everything did. "Earth to Dad," Emily teased, snapping her fingers in my face. "You're zoning out big time. Sorry, champ. Brains on a build." I yanked open the fridge, clinging to the routine like a lifeline. "Ham and cheddar. Sound good?" "Yeah, awesome." "Oh, Mom messaged. She's pulling another late shift. Some urgent payroll crisis at the firm." "Late shift, huh?" I'd set up those cameras 3 weeks back after our neighbor, Mrs. Whitaker, whispered about odd comings and goings at our place during daylight hours. Figured it might be prowlers. Instead, it was my trust getting shattered. I assembled Emily's sandwich on autopilot, thoughts swirling in a vortex of fury. The guy in the footage was Mark Dalton, Sarah's colleague from the downtown branch. I'd shaken his hand at office mixers. Tall, ripped, the type who reeked of designer aftershave and bragged about his marathon splits. The sort who smirked at tradesmen like me behind their backs. "Dad, you're drowning that in mayo." I glanced down. She was spot on. I'd been gripping the bottle like a vice, mind lost in visions of payback. Once Emily polished off her snack and headed upstairs for assignments, I hunkered down in the workshop, scheming. I'm handy, skilled at crafting from raw wood, expert at dismantling. Tonight I'd unravel Sarah's flawless facade, splinter by splinter. First, I dialed my old pal Tom, who ran O'Brien's pub in the heart of town. "Jack, what's the word, man?" "Tom, I need a solid, a huge one." "Shoot. If anyone asks, say I was planted at your bar from 6 till last call." Silence stretched. "Jack, what mess are you diving into?" "The kind where I nail my wife cheating and need cover for the fallout." "Holy hell, you positive?" "Crystal on tape, Tom, full audio spectacle." "That's snake." "All right, I'm your alibi. But Jack, keep it smart. No rash moves. No blood, promise. But I'll ensure the world sees Sarah for the fraud she is." Next, I rang Sarah's folks. Margaret and Robert Ellis resided in that stately colonial on Elm Lane, passed down through their line for decades. Upright folks, pillars of the community, staunch believers in sacred oaths and legacy. "Robert, it's Jack. Gotta discuss something heavy with you and Margaret. Swing by tonight?" "Sure thing, son. You sound rattled. Is all well? I'll lay it out in person. And Robert, brace Margaret for a tough chat." At 7:30, I rapped on the Ellis's door, laptop tucked under my arm. Margaret greeted me, her gray curls impeccable even at dusk. "Jack, come on in. Robert's in the den." "Tea? No thanks, Margaret, but take a seat." We settled in their polished parlor amid mahogany panels and framed ancestors. I positioned the laptop on the low table. 3 weeks ago, I wired cams in the house. I started. Suspected intruders. Caught something far worse. I angled the screen their way. This hit today at 2:47. I pressed play. Margaret inhaled sharply, hand flying to her lips. Robert's complexion drained, then flushed crimson, veins bulging. "Kill it," Margaret murmured. "Please, I shut it." Hours more exist. Varied days, varied angles. Robert bolted upright, fists balled. That's our girl. The one we instilled with virtue, loyalty. Sorry to show you, but truth first. Before I act. "What's your play, Jack?" Margaret asked, cheeks streaked with tears. Expose her to all. Pals, colleagues, congregation. Ruin her standing like she raised our vows. Robert dipped his head. She chose this path. Let her walk it. With Mark Dalton, evidently, I quipped. Come dawn, I launched the offensive. First, buzzed my helper, Alex, claiming family crisis, out a few days. Then, phoned Sarah at the office. "Hey, love," I said, masking the bile. Snagged a rush gig in Denver, lucrative bespoke office suite for a startup mogul. "Back Friday." "Oh," she replied, her thrill barely veiled. "That's fantastic, Jack. The cash boost helps." "Yep. Heading out soon? Hug Emily for me post-school." "Will do. Safe travels." I cut the line, then hit up Mrs. Whitaker, our eagle-eyed 70-year-old neighbor with a gossip radar unmatched. "Mrs. Whitaker. Jack Harlan, next door." "Ah, hello, dear. All good?" "Fine, thanks. I'm jetting out for work. Mind scouting the place for anything off?" "Absolutely, dear. Neighborhood watch is my forte. Ideal." Mrs. Whitaker outdid any agency in vigilance. I idled the day at Tom's pub, sipping a pint, biding time. At 4, Sarah texted, "Mark's dropping by for supper to hash out the Thompson deal. Don't fret if you're late in Denver." Thompson deal, sure. By 6, I stashed my truck 3 streets over, slipping back via the rear woods. From the ancient maple in our yard, the one with Emily's old rope swing, where Sarah and I etched our names 2 decades back in foolish bliss. I had a prime view of the master window. At 7:15, Mark's sleek Audi nosed into my drive. I spied him saunter to the door, wine and roses in hand. My gifts for my wife and my domain. I thumbed my phone. Dialing home. Sarah picked up fast. "Hey, babe, just touching base. Landed in Denver fine. Great. I was wrapping up some docs with Mark. Mark's at our place. Yeah, dissecting Thompson files. You know the tangle. Don't grind too hard. Love ya. You too. Bye." Click. Through the den panes, his palm already grazed her spine, guiding her up. I held for half an hour, then struck. Key in hand, I ghosted through the front. Upstairs moans twisting my gut. From the foyer closet, I snagged my vintage bat, the ash slugger from my glory days. The one Sarah nagged about hoarding. Then called the Ellises. "Robert, Jack. Get over here now, you and Margaret." "Trouble?" "She's with him upstairs." On our way, I perched on the stoop. They rolled up in 10, Robert stone-faced, Margaret gripping her bag like armor. "Certain, Jack?" Margaret hissed. "Here for yourselves." In the twilight chill, the window betrayed raw gasps. Lord above, Margaret exhaled. I keyed the door. "Lead on." We ascended as one, fueled by shared wrath. Door shut but unlatched. I eased it open. They were lost in frenzy, blind to us. Mark sported my terry robe, the plush one Sarah gifted me for our anniversary. She wore only the sapphire pendant from her late aunt. "Well, isn't this intimate?" I boomed. "The Thompson deal looks downright collaborative," Sarah shrieked, yanking the comforter. Mark leaped, tangling his legs, slamming into my bureau. Cufflinks and colognes clattering like fallen soldiers. "Jack," she choked. "What? You're in Denver?" Plot twist, I drawled. Brought company. Then she clocked her parents in the threshold. Margaret gaped in revulsion and sorrow. Robert fixed Mark with volcanic glare. Mom, Dad, what the hell? We came to witness our upbringing's fruit, Robert thundered, voice quaking. Seems we fell short. Mark fumbled into slacks, clownish on one leg. Mr. Ellis, Mrs. Ellis, this ain't the scene, it seems. It seems you're bedding my daughter in her husband's nest, clad in his robe. Robert snarled. What else could it be? Let me clarify, Sarah stammered. She clutched tight. Go on, I urged, lounging on the jamb, arms folded. Riveting how this unravels as a mix-up. Her lips parted, then sealed. What fib? A slip onto Mark's lap? You sicken me, Margaret murmured. Both of you. Desecrating this home, this bed where our granddaughter began. That struck deep, Sarah sobbed, but it reeked of self-pity, not regret. Let's chill and hash like grown-ups, Mark ventured, zipped at last. Grown-ups? I barked a laugh. Grown-ups don't slink behind backs. Don't raid a man's bed. Don't fake overtime for under-the-covers overtime. Jack, please, Sarah pleaded. Private chat? Nah. Secrets bred this rot. Now it's open season. Mark shoved toward escape, but I barred him. Running sport? This is family biz. Oh, you're central. Plant yourself. I ain't staying for this. I hefted the bat from its lean. I said sit. He slumped on the mattress edge, robe askew over trousers. Poetic. Here's the drill, I declared to them. Spill to her folks. How long? Jack, no, Sarah breathed. How long? Robert roared. Sarah stared at the rug. Half a year. 6 months, I echoed. Endless overtime. Networking nights. Team retreats. Daily deceit to my face. It snowballed. Mark blurted. Organic connection. Organic? Margaret scoffed. Adultery's poison, boy. Mrs. Ellis, office stress bonds us in ways. Zip it, I snapped. Spare the boardroom drivel. You craved her, took her. Own it like a man. Robert advanced. Sarah, eyes up. She met his steel gaze. We drilled in duty, integrity, fidelity. Where'd that go? Trapped, she mumbled. Life's grind. Sawdust everywhere, no spark. Mark reignited me. Reignited, I parroted. See how sparked you feel when the firm views the tapes. Mark blanched. What tapes? I grinned. Cams rolling 3 weeks. Every caress, whisper, romp in my space. HD glory, crisp sound. You can't, Sarah gasped. Invasion of privacy. My turf, my cams, my share rights. Jack, mercy, she wept. For Emily, our girl. I am? For the mom she merits. Not this home-wrecking sham. I ain't some stranger, Mark whined. Your cookouts, holidays? Worse then. Gobbling my grub, plotting my wife's theft. Margaret eyed Sarah with disdain. How betray your sacred bonds? You don't get marriage to him, Sarah flung at me. Eternal toil, grime, zero thrill. So thrill seek elsewhere, I shot back. Crisis averted. Robert shook his head. We're out. Margaret, come. Hold up, I said. More. I flashed my phone's shots. Mark's Audi plated clear in my drive. Logged all. Arrivals, durations, gifts. Weeks of infidelity proof. Your demand? Mark growled. Your world's toast. Fiancé learns. Peers learn. Gym crew learns. Chris Dalton. Married woman chaser. You scum. I'm scum? Not the 6-month home invader. Sarah Rose, sheet draped. Divorce? Fine. But no torching my world. Your world? I chuckled. You ignited the blaze bedding him. Courts'll deem this stalking, she spat. You can't shame us scot-free. Legally I can. Home vids, shareable. Truth-telling? Protected. Branding you snakes? All above board. Mark stood, bolting. Go, I yielded, but inspect your ride first. He stormed down. Soon driveway howls erupted. "What did you do?" Sarah demanded. Peek. She peered out, stunned. I'd tagged marriage wrecker in scarlet across his windshield. Vandalism. Done. And tip of the spear. Robert steadied Margaret. Homeward. Sarah. Skip calls till atonement dawns. Post Ellis's. Sarah wheeled on me, eyes blazing. Smug victory, huh? Truth unveiled. Rests ripple. I'll gut you in court. Half the lot. Shop included. Try it. State's fault divorce favors the wronged. Video seals it. She glared, wheels turning. Emily'll despise you. She'll loathe the family smashing cheat. You, FYI, I pivoted out. Where to? She yelled. Away. House mine. For now. But the stench chokes. I sped to O'Brien's, where Tom awaited with a draft and open ears. How'd it land? Epic. Folks witnessed. Mark's likely chiseling paint still. Gutsy pal. Tom, another ask. Spill the beans by accident to patrons. Oops. I got oops. O'Brien's buzzed with local lore. By shutdown, block-wide whispers of Sarah Harlan's corporate fling. 3 pints deep, texts flooded. Mrs. Whittaker. Saw that fella flee in a huff. Okay? All square now. Thanks for the watch. Mark, you'll pay for the car. Reply, bill me. Wall art. Sarah. Talk time. Ignored. Emily. Dad. Mom's weeping. Silent on why. Where? That jolted sobriety. I rang her. Hey, kid. Dad. Spill. Mom's barricaded upstairs. Driveway's crimson chaos. Home in 20. Family powwow. We good? No, hun, but we'll mend. I cruised back, gut knotted for the talk. Emily's sharp, wise beyond years, but still my baby. How shatter a teen's world with maternal deceit? She paced the den on entry. Sarah absent. Dad freaking me out. What? I sank beside her. Emily, Mom, and I divorcing. Her features twisted. Why? Your fault? Mine? No. Mom's involved elsewhere. Involved how? Affair. 6 months. Her eyes widened. Absorbing. Proof. Tapes. God. Hands to face. Who? Work guy. Names moot. Matters. Family ruiner. Deep breath. Mark Dalton. Fancy Will's fitness yapper. Him. Silence lingered. I hate her. Don't. She's Mom. Liar. Betrayer. How to us? Clueless kid. Folks air. Eh? This is betrayal. Pure venom. Before retort, Sarah loomed atop stairs. Emily chat. No, I shun you. Please let me. What? 6-month lies. Boyfriend parades. Sarah descended tentative. Complex, Emily. Adult bonds elude you. Cheating's clear. Lies clear. You nuked us for thrills. Unfair fair. Emily surged. Fair dad cams his wife's betrayal? Fair I learn Mom's fraud? Emily, hush. No. Crashing at Nana and Pops. Can't face you. She bolted up to pack. Sarah eyed me, pleading. Jack, mend this. Mend? You shattered irreparably. Mistake. Horrid one. Mistakes botched errands. This? Cereal choices. I'll dump Mark. Anything. Overdue. Emily descended. Bag slung. Nana en route. Don't flee, Sarah implored. Family heals. No family left. Your handiwork. 20 ticks later, Margaret fetched Emily, ignoring Sarah cold. House echoed hollow. We faced like foes. Now what? She queried. Pack, crash elsewhere. Divorce filing tomorrow. My home too. Not post-adultery fault. Vid-proof claims it for the faithful. Kid custody too. She paled. Can't evict me. Asking nicely. Resist? Forced out. You monster. Monster! Post your sins, I'm villain. She ascended to stuff bags. I voicemailed attorney Mike Lawson, briefing chaos. Sarah descended.